Jonathan, thanks a lot to be here, and that's a great movie. I have a couple of questions for you, but I invite everyone to share and to join this conversation. First of all, how did you get Barbara Steele to star in this film?
It's been difficult. She hasn't been playing a horror movie as a lead for 20 years. She liked the fact that I'm Italian. She has a nice memory from Italy. And basically she didn't get a lot of offers in a movie where she could kill 5 people, 2 kids. So she thought it was a unique opportunity because, you know, usually killers aren't 76-year-old women. And so we had a lot of discussion. We had a lot of discussion on the character and what our real motivations are. And she said, well, I could come back with this. And it's been difficult because in the US you shoot for 12 hours a day. And my mom has her age and she would never be able to do what she did in the movie. But she was really amazing, and she is the movie basically. Her eyes and her elegant. I didn't want a witch. I want a really elegant lady who killed kids, and she did it amazingly.
You have a couple of great scream queens here. Was any of one that you wanted and you couldn't get it?
Maybe one, maybe, what was the name? No, I got all of them. It's been amazing. And I was especially happy for Heather Langenkamp. There's a shot in the movie where she talks over the phone, and she's framed from outside, and somehow because of the kind of window and the light, it really looked like a frame from a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And I actually saw that on the monitor and said, wow, it looks like that movie that I saw when I was 12. And now she's here and I can say, action, stop, maybe we have to. And I'm doing this, so it's been like probably the greatest moment while shooting.
Because this is a co-production, Italy, USA, but you shot in LA, right? For any specific reason?
Basically because I want to emigrate to the US, and so this kind of helps, having shot the movie there, to do more projects there. I guess you're all horror fans, and in the past 20 years maybe, you haven't seen the great horror movies we used to do in the 70s. And there are several reasons, and I know all the Italian young directors who want to do horror, and I discussed with them why we're not able to do that, and finally came to a conclusion, which is I give up and I emigrate. So the basic reason is we don't have producers anymore. We have just people who take funds from the government or from the TV. And for example, I know that Pascal Auger is coming here, and Martyrs is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's dedicated to Dario Argento at the end. And probably Pascal Auger doesn't know that if Dario Argento goes to a producer in Italy with that screenplay from Martyrs, they call the police. They wouldn't understand it, they wouldn't get it, and they wouldn't produce it. So the situation is really bad, and this is why I did it in the US, and hopefully next projects I'll be able to do, they will be in the US. I love American movies, and also, I mean, I would have never been able to have so many great actresses from the movie I liked if I shot in Italy.
The question is about Italian cinema, Italian horror movie cinema. That you said before, you referred from the 70s, that was so big, so huge. Do you think that in the near future, will we have it again? Even other Italian cinema, like spaghetti westerns also? That was my question.
Okay, you can have the photos. Well, we've had some nice horror movies. I mean, like Federico Zampaglione has done 2 great movies, Shadow and now Tulpa is coming out, and also my friends Fratelli Manetti Bros. They just made Paura 3D, which is good. Another great thriller is called At the End of the Day. But they are very, very rare, and they are really pushed by the directors. The directors are also writers and producers, and so they have to fight a lot. Like for me, it took me like 10 years to do this. And it's extremely hard. And in Italy, these movies don't make money at all. They don't get distribution. Even Zampaglione probably did the movie that was a little more successful, but still it didn't do what it deserved. Because people have been betrayed so many times by horror or Italian thrillers that they don't trust them. So I am skeptical, unfortunately, that it's gonna come back. But there's a lot of people who love this genre, and there will always be more people who will keep fighting. The situation is really, really tragic. I mean, you don't have anybody you can relate to help you to produce the movie. You have to do it all on your own, and the budgets are getting lower and lower and lower. Now you can shoot with cameras that cost 1,500 euros, which is not really, really good, because then all the production value goes down, so then you cannot have distribution. Spaghetti Western, forget about it. I mean, it's not going to happen. I hope we're going to be horror. That would be still great, but no spaghetti, and no weird science fiction, no Mario Bava. No, that's not going to come back. Maybe, I don't know, in 100 years we won't see it.
Alice, because Alice is a child, but she seems to have a bit of a mean streak to her during the movie. She's very manipulative. She's very she thinks things through. She plans, and she's a child, so it's a difficult character. I would like to know where did you get the inspiration? How did you build the character for Alice?
Well, the idea was to have a horror movie where people who usually in horror movies are victim or good people, they are the real bad ones. So first of all, an old lady, and so she's the killer. And after you get to know how horrible things she can do, then you get to know an even more horrible character, which is a 11-year-old little girl. And then there's a fight between two evils. So basically I wanted to show, what I like as a horror fan is when I see something new, and new characters, new reasons for killers. And this was refreshing. I've never seen these two characters combined together and basically fighting or competing for love, because basically it's two very lonely female characters, and the idea was the match, the competition between, and the fight between the two of them.
I want to know, is this inspired by real life facts or book or something like that? Because it's really different and twisted, and even secondary characters like that fat guy and the amputee mother, all that is really, well, different, far-fetched. Is it inspired by real life or anything else?
Well, when I was 9-year-old, I used to go to grand ladies and I used to get money from them, so it's from my child. You don't believe me, it's a true story. No, really, I mean, it took so much time to get the movie done that I could rewrite it like for I don't know how many times. So each time I tried to make it like refreshing in every single aspect. So, like for example, the beginning, it wasn't Alice's mother, it was Alice's grandmother, and she was paralyzed on a bed. And I had so much time to rewrite that I thought, well, maybe an amputee prostitute and also a good-looking woman would be better for the movie. And the idea with the building where Alice lives is that it's made of crazy people, so there's no real sane person, like the guy on the elevator and the fat guy. And also by the idea that there's no good or interesting man in the movie. They don't understand what's going on till the end of the movie. They are a little stupid. They're just interested in either Anne, like the guy who sells her the chemical products, or in earning money, like Ray Wise, who blackmails her. So the idea was like having a female story where men are not important, they are ugly, they are horrible. So it's just a women world.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Second question.
Sure.
About what you were saying about the other answer, the situation of the Italian cinema, and your decision to migrate to the United States. Have you tried any other approach, or is that like the last resort, like online sales on iTunes and other online platforms for the movies? Is that an option?
iTunes?
Yeah, now you can sell feature-length films on iTunes and Amazon. and other stores like that?
I think the internet is the future of distribution. The future, not the present. I don't think you can really make a movie and make a sense of it distributing it on the internet. And like I was saying before, it's been amazing even today watching it on a huge screen with an amazing audio with a lot of people. I feel this is the true cinematic experience. And I don't want to give up in showing a movie on a 12-inch screen as like the premiere. That sucks. Yeah. I've been trying for 10 years to do horror in Italy. And if I have to do movies with a $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 budget, I'll do that in the US, where there's a huge market, where everybody speaks English, so you can do an international movie, and where I can find real distribution. And I want to do it in Italy. I've seen so many people now, everybody shoots movies. I mean, it doesn't take much. It wasn't like 10 years ago or 20 years ago where a movie was really something valuable. Now everybody shoots, so it's even more difficult to do something that stands out. So yeah, I definitely tried a lot. I mean, my mom is still in Italy, we'll have to leave her, so it's my final decision. Yeah.
Okay, and was it hard to get into the business in the US, like make the transition from
I haven't gotten into the business yet, because I went there with Italian money, and so they were very happy to have me there. So now that we may have found a very small distribution theatrical in the US, so once the movie is out, I will go to producers, and I will not be one of the 100,000 who have a screenplay. I'll be one of the 10,000 who have a screenplay and a movie done. So there's a little more hope to be able to do movies. But what I really felt, I've met so many people in the US, and I really felt that you never know what's going to happen. Even shooting this movie, I was a little afraid because there were people, very talented people, who had shot so many movies, had so much experience, and I was a little afraid that they would not listen to me or maybe be skeptical about this guy coming from Italy. Instead, there's so much respect, especially for new ideas, for something different, and everybody had, I mean, there were people who had shot Tarantino's movies on my set. And they told me when they didn't know that Tarantino would become the best director in the world probably, and but still they felt there was some energy, and so now even all the crews, they never know if it's a movie that will never go anywhere or it's going to be the new Tarantino. And this is not the new Tarantino, by the way, but I never feel like this in Italy. Whenever you're on a set, you know that nothing's going to happen, and it's awful.
I just want to know, where do you get the idea of do you associate death to a butterfly? Because a butterfly to me is like magical, very pretty, and your idea is beautifully wicked. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, the idea was like with the old lady and with the young child, to show something that usually is beautiful, but if you pay real attention, it's a dead insect that's there for our pleasure to see it. So it's kind of weird on itself. I didn't do anything. It is weird. And also you pin it, and it's something that if you also see a butterfly from very close, you see the legs, you see the antennas, it's kind of not that beautiful. So it's, again, trying to have something refreshing, showing something that usually is seen on one way, but there's also the dark side of it. And this is what horror maybe should do, like show the dark side of what you usually see and think it's good, so that we are afraid of it. It's like a new way of watching things. I mean, this is what horror does when it goes to a deep level, and I tried to do that. So I'm happy if you found it a little disturbing, or if it didn't make you happy, that something that you like and maybe reminds you of your childhood, maybe like magic butterflies instead.
How did you balance the psychological horror and the physical violence that is needed for every horror movie?
So for example, maybe the most gory scene is just when she sprays the acid on the dead body below the elevator. And so it was, don't show too much of the dead body, rather focus on, is she gonna get caught or not? And there's a guy who's probably falling on the hole. So adding some irony and some suspense was the way to portray an elegant killer lady, and not focusing too much on violence. Again, just to give a new, a different side of the killings we're used to see. So yeah, irony.
All right. My second question is about the symbols in the movie. Not only the young girls as butterflies for Anne, but also the numbers. Anne's door had a 7 in it, and Alice's door had a 3, a 0, and a 4, which added up equals 7. So what was the idea behind the symbols?
You know, this was a low-budget movie, so not everything was prepared in advance because you don't have much time and production is very fast. So you have you're on the set and there's 20 people who are working for you for your idea, and then somebody comes up and says, "Hey, we gotta hang a number on the wall. Which number does it have to be?" And you have like 10 seconds because time is money, and I said 7, and then the same thing happened with the other numbers. And there's some people who noticed that, and I have no idea. It just came like that, and I didn't think that the numbers had to add to 7, but it happened, and I don't know. I was born in '77, but I don't know. Maybe it influenced the movie somehow.
My question is...
Oh, I loved your short movie.
Thank you.
Seriously, O Princípio do Fim.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
what I really liked was that you chose everyday guy as the lead.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a hero.
No.
Yeah,
No.
so that was really, really a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. My question is simple. As you know this, we used a little girl in our movie also.
Yeah.
How was it to work with such young actresses? Yeah. In your movie, did they knew that they were shooting a horror movie? Were they scared during the filmmaking? Did they knew what they were doing while you were shooting the movie?
Well, first of all, both the little girls had more experience than I have. They had shot House MD, a lot of Disney movies, even Lost. And so they knew what a movie is, and they knew that violence is fake, and they were not scared at all. And I met the parents, and we read through the script together, and I could exactly tell why the movie was this way, what was the real meaning of the movie. I mean, Alice really knew that she had to be malicious, and she had to play with the lady who was in love with her, and she could take advantage of this. So the parents were really, really happy that the kids were given such an opportunity, because they were sick and tired of Disney movies. And also I was a little nervous because we had to put like the other girl with her head under the water, and that was a little more violent than the rest of the movie. And so in the morning when we had to shoot this, I said to the producer, where is the mother? I want to talk to her before we shoot the movie. And she said, oh, the mother is there. She's taking a picture of the set with the iPhone. And so she was really happy that her daughter would open the movie. This is, I mean, great about the US, that they are really crazy about movies, and especially if they sense that it's something different. And they know it's fake. I mean, there was no problems with the kids at all. And I didn't have to pretend it was a fairy tale, or, I mean, it wouldn't be like this. I mean, Alice is scary, I mean, because she's just a great actress.